Hi, okay, how I model a Nissan Skyline R32. So I start as always by setting up the reference cube to have the right measurements, and I find those on Wikipedia, and then I take the blueprint and just trying to set it up in the different views. So here I just try to fit the blueprint to the cube, and then when the one blueprint is the right size, I just duplicate it and rotate it for the different views and set it up. This is not maybe the best solution to do it, but it's kind of quick and it works. So here I have arranged all the blueprints in a folder also. So I start up with the wheelhouse by making a circle, and I make it kind of few vertices because I aiming to do a blue poly car. So here I'm trying to mirror the car, but I didn't think correct, so it took more time than I want to. So I started out with the front, kind of rough, and just adding the geometry I want. Continue with the back, and starting out with the side to give the shape of the car. Just pulling and pushing the vertices until I get the shape that I want. So I continue with the sides, just trying to get it right, and I hiding the front here so I only see the back, so I have more control. Adding more geometry to be able to build the front. And here I just roughing up the shape. And here I'm trying to find the lines that's important for the car, and trying to find the shape and where the front light is and so on. And here I'm starting with the hood. And trying to understand how the car really looks from all the different angles. And here I can see that the front view is not maybe aligned correctly to the side view, so that I need to fix. And here I trying to figure out how I should do this pointy bit the best way. So I got tired of thinking, and I just wanted to add some color to the car instead, and delaying that problem. Maybe not the best solution, but anyhow, so here I changed the scale of the, I maybe just moved the blueprint from the front, and here I just added some geometry. And this is not only quads, but since I just only going to use the car to look at, I think it's okay, because it looks fine, and the goal is to make a low poly car. And here I just continue pulling and pushing the vertices to get the correct shape. And here I realized that I have a quite tricky area to make this look good, so I adding the reference image to see how pointy this part is, or how I could solve it. And I think I tried a few different solutions, but in the end I think I just skip to have a quad. And here I try to add this wider part in the rear of the car, and they are starting with the pillar of to the roof. And just trying to find the shape and of the roof. So it's important to look from several different directions to get the feel of the car. And here I see that I needed to add more loop cuts to get the right shape of the roof. Yeah, and here I try to fix this pillar, and you can see how I switching between different views to try to get it correct. And here I'm adding some more geometry. If I have done this car again, I think I have started out more with the hood and then go with the front bumper. But here I'm fixing the window and add a material to the window, so I easily see the borders and so on. Here I'm fixing the grill. I will work more on that later. And added a material to the turn light as well. Here I'm adding the side windows, and I realized that it doesn't look good from the side, so I'm adjusting that. And for this window, I think I do a quick fix here. Yes, I just press F and fill it. It's not the correct way to do it, but it looks okay. And here I work with the trunk. And the rear window. Here I'm hiding the front of the car to have a better view of the back and start to shape it out. Trying to find the right lines, and I've changed the reference image to see how it works, and here I realized that I might need more geometry, so I make another loop cut later on in the top. Yeah, here. And this will be great to have also for the spoiler placement. So here I just make an inset and extrude and shape it as the blueprint dictates. So just a lot of pulling and pushing, and also scaling and making the different vertices straight and so on. And here also important to switch between the views often to get the right shape of the spoiler. And I try to wait until the end with this rotation, because it will not help me with the modeling to have something that is rotated. And here I just try to shape it out, and it's a lot of GG to edge slide. And here I starting to think out how I should continue with the lights. I realize I might need to lower the bumper a little bit so that the lights have a better place to exist. And first I was thinking of maybe just model them in. So here I'm trying that. Trying to add another ring to get more control, but here I realized that this will not be great, and maybe, yeah, so I decide to, yeah, it doesn't look good, so I decide instead to work with Booleans. So I just extrude this one and make that the cut object, and the same with the other lights as well. So I cut with these objects, and then I make a copy of them, that I scale down to make the light. And do the same thing for the other light as well. And here I also try to name them, so I have some kind of control. And here I realized that the car might be too on flat, so I need to reshape the vertices a little bit. So just move them back. And here I also realized that the mirror is wrong, so I changed the mirror to mirror over the car body instead, so I have a perfect mirror. And here I have hide the back of the car and only work with the front of the car. So trying to figure out how it would look, and here I try to make the grille with insets, but realize I will have a lot of problems if I continue with this solution. So I undo that and leave it for later. And continue with the bumper instead. And I think here the inset for the air vents, we call them. And I'm not completely happy with the shape here. I'm trying to figure out how I can solve this the best way, but something is really off here. So I try to figure it out and try to move the vertices in different views and just get worse. Yeah, but here I deleting geometry and adding more geometry. Yeah, so adding 2 new loop cuts to get more control and a nicer surface. And using the knife tool, because the loop tool did not work because I have broken geometry, so I need to fix that, but the knife tool is great. And now I think I'm happy, so I extrude, but I get a double extrusion here. You can see so just delete that area and fill it up. And here I fixed the lowest air vent with just an inset. And here I realized that the best solution for the grill is just to do as we did with the rear lights and do a Boolean operation. So here just creating the parts I want to cut with. So I duplicate them and scale them to place. And I try to name the parts accordingly. So I just look around at the car and see what's wrong and what needs fixing. And here I just adjusting details. And I select both of the wheelhouse and extrude them inwards. And here I fix the under tray of the car. And here we need a side mirror. Oh, and here I realize also that the car have some kind of strange shape inwards in the lower part of the car, so I shaped that. And here I'm fixing the side mirror. this part did not end up as well as I hoped it to, because it was more tricky than I thought, so, and I didn't want to put too much time into it, but it turned out okay, but not more. So it's a lot of edge sliding and moving, so I both look at the blueprint and just trying to figure out the shape, but yeah, it took more time than I wanted it to. Yeah, so I think here I changed the reference image to work with back again. And here I save the file, don't forget to save. And here I start working with the wheels. Add material, some kind of rubber looking thing. Here I make a duplicate of that area, scale it in, and here I figure out how the rim looks, and I make a couple of loop cuts, select that area, and have the deselect the checker pattern, or what it's called, and scale. And I think I choose what it's called, individual scaling or something like that. It's really handy. And just continue to shape the rim of the car. And add material. And here I just fix the axis of the car. And here I try to make a the brake disc, but realize it's too few polygons, so I make another copy of the rim instead. Scale it up, and here I try to figure out what parts I can copy to make the what do you call it? Disc brake, the brake part of the brake. So I just duplicate those vertices and shape the brake out. Then extrude it and add faces and give it a color. And then I duplicate wheel to the back, and the car have wheels. And here I want to make a two-tone color. First I was thinking going in extreme, but instead I go with the gray car, but a pearl gray, or what do you call it? So its grayness depends of the viewing angle. So just adding some details. I realize now that I forgot handles for the door, and here I add cylinder with too many sides, so I deleted it and made a new one. And here I realized that we need a exhaust pipe, so I'm trying to fix that here, but realized that this doesn't look good, so I need to fix that. Try to solve it, but it doesn't go my way. And then I realized that I'm still trying to figure it out. Then I realized I can delete most part of it and just reshape it, and this I think look good. So I add a new circle to shape out the pipe. So extrude, scale and extrude, and I realize I colliding with tires. I just turn it inwards. And here I have lost the under tray of the car in the back, so I just add more geometry so it looks okay. And here I just arrange stuff. Yeah, and realize I need those strange hook points, we will call them, and join them with the car so they get the correct color. And here I add starting building up of the scene for the render, so adding ground, trying to figure out what view is the best to render this car in. I think, and here I check the normals and they are wrong, several of them, so I just Shift+n to correct that. And here I see, I think, yeah, here I duplicate the car because I didn't want double pipe, so I duplicate the car and apply all the mirrors and Booleans and stuff like that, so I'll be able to not have a mirror of the car on that side, so the different side can be different. And here I'm setting up the camera and adding some fog glow and adding for the R. It doesn't look, and I realized that this glare is wrong type. I want fog glow and not that other one. And here I think I realized that this inner ring is kind of important for the look of the car, so I tried to add that ring. I just inset and then Control B to bevel, or call it, and I realized that the black color is too much, so I just changed that to a dark red instead. I think that looks okay. So here just trying to setting up the lights and the ground plane, how much color it should be. Too dark, so start adding lights. And here I choose to rotate them around 3D cursor, because the car is in the center of the 3D cursor. And here I just duplicate the light and trying to rotate it to get the light that I like. And I want to go with some kind of retro feeling. Yeah, I try to do some kind of rim light, we will call it, but it's too much, so I just turn it down. And here I realize I might go with the underglow of the car. Just trying out the setting until I end up where I want, or where I like the look. Realize I want another color of the ground. And here I saw but it didn't look correct, so I changed it. And here I just wanted to scale up the ground to get that line another place. And I go with more extreme colors. I think it looked kind of good, so I saved this image. And here I make a mistake. I create another camera and think I adding that one for the front, but I still actually editing the old camera, so this is stupid of me. And so I also want to render an image of the front of the car, so I save this image. And here I want to try to render this with the cycles instead, but it crashed. So here my graphic card is giving me a hard time, so yeah, I'm just trying and solved it. But anyway, thanks for watching, and if you like it, please like and subscribe, and have a good time. Bye.